Hello, hello, my loves. Welcome to another video. We are going to be talking all about all of the Halloween and spooky things that I have been doing. This is going to be kind of another little mishmash of Halloweeny topics. We're going to talk about my haunted maze experience. We're going to talk about the movie that I saw, The Exorcist. We're going to talk about what book I'm currently reading, what books are on my TBR, and then also my ultimate Halloween tarot and oracle decks, and anything else that may come up last minute. So if you want to hear what I have to say, if you want to see all of the spooky things, grab yourself something to drink and let's get into it. We're going to start with my maze story because I think that's the one that's going to take the longest to talk about. Last week, my husband and I went to a haunted maze. We have a couple of them actually that are on our list that we want to go to this month. I'm not sure if we're going to catch all three of them. I think we're going to go to maybe one more, which is more local to us, but we shall see. At least we hit one maze. That's good enough for me, right? So, and this maze is part of a pumpkin patch. So one part of it is a family, kind of like a family pumpkin patch, has a petting zoo. It has like those bouncy things, the pumpkin patch. It has a family friendly corn maze. It has like a bunch of just stuff, right? Some vendors and food and all of that. It's like a little carnival. And then off to the back corner is the other corn maze, but it's a haunted maze. So the thing about this was the haunted maze has its own entrance fee. And then the actual like pumpkin patch area has another entrance fee. So I thought, you only paid the one fee and then you go to the maze. We didn't really care about the rest of the stuff. It's not really our thing. But I guess to get into the haunted maze, you had to pay the entrance fee for the patch. It is what it is. It was a little bit of a disappointment, but we did it anyway. And I will say overall, the maze was fun and it was definitely spooky. But I would not have paid what I paid to get into it now that I know what it is. So overall, I would probably give this maze 3 stars. So we go to this maze and there's not really that many people in line. We kind of still went early. It was dark though, but we went early in the night. And there wasn't much of a line, but part of the line, they had this setup where it was like going back into the 90s where they had like the Blockbuster video stores and stuff. And so this whole setup has the VHS, all the horror VHS covers and all of this. It's pretty much somebody's collection. So someone that helped put this maze thing together, they put their collection of their horror VHS tapes, and it was such a cool thing to see, and you could take pictures with it and stuff. You weren't really allowed to touch the things, but I didn't accidentally, I picked up one of the VHSs but you weren't supposed to touch them. And it was just really cool. So it's kind of fun to be waiting in line because there's a lot to see while you're waiting. They also had a table where they were selling some shirts with custom made artwork from another creator. And I was going to buy a shirt, but they were a little bit pricey. So I did not purchase a shirt, but they were very beautiful. The artwork was really spooky and really, really good. But so then we go into the actual maze. So they time it where they put you in your groups. So because it was just my husband and I, and then the person in front of us, it was just one person going. They had the three of us go. But what we ended up doing was they wait for like maybe a couple seconds to maybe a minute. And then they let the next group go. So when they let the three of us go, I let her go first, and I didn't want to ruin her experience. So my husband and I kind of hovered and we waited a couple seconds, and she went, and we never saw her throughout the whole maze. So we let her go so she could have her experience by herself, and then we went through the maze, and it was cool. I liked that they did that, because if you've ever gone through a haunted maze where you kind of run into the next group of people in front of you, you see the scares happening for them, and then it kind of ruins it for you because you already know what to expect. So I made sure we let her go have her experience, and we had ours too. And luckily, the lady that let us go, she waited enough time so that the people that went behind us, we never ran into them. They never ran into us. So it was really cool to have that experience. It was literally just me and my husband walking through this corn maze. The corn maze was not lit up, so it was full, like, dark. Super dark. You could feel like the the leaves from the corn, touching your body as you're walking through this maze. And then there's parts within the corn maze that are like little haunted houses. So you walk into a haunted house station, and you're going through a couple rooms, and there's scares, and there's like all of this decoration, and it's spooky. They had some of the serial killer themes in there. But the thing that I noticed was when we had watched some of the reviews from the year prior, this corn maze, there's usually people in the actual corn maze scaring you. And maybe I think that throughout the whole thing, there was maybe 2 people that were actually in the physical maze to scare you. So I felt like, I don't know if they had people calling out or they just didn't have as much people working that night. I don't know. But it didn't, like, as we're walking through the maze, there wasn't as many scares through the corn part. When we're in the haunted house part, the people were there, right? And those scares were really, really good. I felt like the decorations and everything was really good. It was pretty decent. But I was a little sad because in some of the serial killer portions, there weren't any serial killers. So it was just like the decorations and the theme, and there wasn't any like Jeffrey Dahmer, or there wasn't any, I think the only one that there was the Richard Ramirez. There was him, but I didn't see any of the other ones. So I kind of felt like either they're on shifts and maybe they're on a lunch break. But I was just kind of like, what happened? So that's why my rating is a little bit low for this maze, because we didn't get the full experience of the scares that we should have had. So other than that, the maze itself probably took, maybe 5 to 10, I don't know about 10 minutes, but like a good 5 minutes. It was actually pretty long. There were times where we're walking through this corn maze and it was like, wow, this is actually a pretty long maze, but I think it would have been 10 times better had there actually been people scaring you throughout it. So I definitely feel like that kind of sucked. And I told my husband, I'm glad that we experienced it, but I would definitely not go again, especially for the price. Because if you're if you're paying for your ticket and you're doing this experience, you want to have the staff there doing what they're supposed to be doing, So to me, I'm like, no, I'll pass. One experience is good enough for me. So there's another maze up here local to where we live, and we're probably going to try to go this coming weekend. Hopefully, we'll see. And hopefully that one will be good. The ticket price for that one is much less than, it's like literally half the price of what the other one was. So we'll see how it goes. I love just those little I love the family owned haunted mazes. I feel like when it's a family owned, they put more love and care into it versus like something that's a little bit bigger, So we shall see. But yeah, the maze was a good experience. I definitely had my screams. I definitely had my moments. So overall it was fun, but definitely not something that I would definitely not go again. Okay, so then after that, that same weekend, my husband and I went on a double date night with one of his friends and his friend's wife. And we went to see the Exorcist movie. So I was excited because I like the original classic Exorcist movie. I will never forget how creeped out I felt when Reagan was doing the crab walk down the staircase. I think that was like the part of the movie that really gave me the chills and freaked me out. And the book is 10 times better. So if you love a good scare and you love exorcism movies and like that kind of thing, the Exorcist movie is really good. The classic is really, really good. But the book, you have to read the book. The book is really, really good and it's creepy. So we go to this movie and I just didn't enjoy it. I'm not going to give spoilers, nothing like that. But I would definitely say I would give it a 2-star. I feel like the storyline was good, but I feel like I left the movie wanting more out of the storyline. And I feel like, I guess like when you're a young person and you go to these movies, you really don't care about the storyline. You just want to get scared. But I guess for me, because I'm such a book nerd, I want to know the storyline. And so when we left the movie, I was kind of like, well, why did this happen? And why didn't this? And why didn't they explain this? And so I wish there was a little bit more explanation. And as far as the scare factor goes, there were a couple parts where I did jump in the movie theater. So I did, get my little scares in, but I would definitely say it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. The makeup and all of that was pretty good. It was creepy, but you know how like sometimes they do like the demon voice? At least they did it for The Exorcism, and then they did it for other Exorcist movies I've seen. This one didn't really have it. It didn't hit right for me. So I think it was just partly that. I also think the music wasn't creepy. And really the music, like if the music is creepy, it really makes the movie, in my opinion. So there was just a lot of like little things and I was being very picky about it and it just wasn't my thing. So 2-star rating for that. After that, we went to dinner and we had dinner and then we went home and it was just a very fun little date night and it was super cute. And they also gave us a little boo basket, which was super cute. The boo basket things, you guys, I was like seeing those on like the reels and stuff, how people were doing that and they're going all out with their boo baskets. And it was literally making me sad that I didn't have anybody to give a boo basket to. It just made me realize like I need people in my life that love and appreciate Halloween and like the spooky season as much as I do. I need friends that love spooky season and I wish that I had, somebody special that I could put something together for, because half of the fun of a boo basket is, receiving it is fun, but also putting one together I think would be exciting. And with all the Halloween shopping that I did and going to all these different stores, I could have put together a pretty bomb ass basket. So maybe I'll make a friend, I'll meet someone and we'll just have the grandest time being spooky friends. But we'll see. Goals, right? That's a goal I'm setting for myself. So, we also went to Costco. This isn't spooky, but we did go to Costco. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Okay. So anyways, the night of the maze. So as we're making our way back home, because we did have an hour drive home, there was a mom and pop pumpkin patch right off the side of the road. And I told my husband, pull over there because I want to take some pictures. And also let's just have a look. There is something about a mom and pop pumpkin patch that is just so cute and cozy and just the sweetest thing ever. There was nobody there. It was already like 9:30 and probably 9:45. So I was afraid they were going to be closed, but they were still open. So then we go and we're looking around and we pick out a couple pumpkins. I wanted ghost pumpkins. So they had a lot of the white ones. So I got a couple ghost pumpkins. We took some pictures and it was just the sweetest thing ever. And it was actually like the little cherry on top to end a fun little date night. And I told my husband the pumpkin patch that we just came from for the maze was a more bigger pumpkin patch. You're like paying money to get into it. And this little mom and pop pumpkin patch is free. You walk in, it's their own homegrown pumpkins. It's just a different experience. And yes, you're paying a little bit more for the pumpkins at this patch, but it's the idea that you are supporting a family's little business is the cutest thing. So we bought some pumpkins, and yeah, it was just a really fun little way to stop and enjoy a last little thing before we went home. And then the day after that, or 2 days after that, or whatever, we went to Costco. And Costco is where we got our main like orange pumpkins that we're going to be carving. So I didn't want to pay an arm and a leg for the pumpkins that I was going to be carving, so we decided just to be boring and go to Costco. Okay, so let's talk books real fast. So I am currently reading The Return by Rachel Harrison. Rachel Harrison is the same author that wrote the book Black Sheep, which is the one I read last month, and I gave it a 5-star. It was such a good book. It was really, really, really creepy. It was creepy and funny at the same time. So she does kind of like a mix of feelings. It's creepy, but it's also funny. And I just love her writing style. Her writing style is very simple. It's like a pretty quick read. So I'm making my way through this one. I'm almost halfway through, and I hope to be finished with it in 2 more days. I am still doing my little reading goal of reading a certain amount of pages per day to help me get through the book in a timely manner. I did lose out on 2 days of my reading. I just wasn't feeling it. I started reading Edenville, I think it's called. And it just wasn't grabbing my attention. So I did lose out on a day for that. And then the day after was the solar eclipse. And I just was not feeling the vibes of reading that day. So it was probably because the solar eclipse was such an intense day. Energetically, I was just very fatigued. So hopefully now I can get myself back into it and just enjoy spooky season, the last of it. I can't even believe we're already 2 weeks into October, so we have 2 weeks left. And it's just kind of sad to think that spooky season is almost over. So yeah. I also went to Barnes & Noble yesterday. I did a quick little run because I did have this sudden urge to find a fall romance themed cozy book. I think I'm a little burnt out with the horror, and I think I need something like mushy and like lovey-dovey. So I went to Barnes & Noble with the intention of finding a romance, like a fall cozy romance read, and I did. So let me show you what I got. Unless you watched my short or my reel on Instagram, you probably already know what I got, but let's just do this anyway. I have to show you the little plush or the squishy or whatever they're called. So Barnes & Noble has the plague, little death plague or whatever they're called, stuffed animals, and I was actually going to get the bigger one, and I saw this guy. So I was like, he's a little bit more convenient. He's tiny, and I just thought he was so cute. So he's a little keychain, but I'm just going to keep him in my room. I'm probably going to be putting him over here on my shelf when I start to put my ghosties over there once spooky season is over. Books that I picked up, so I only picked up 2. I picked up The X Hex, which I heard that this book is really, really good. It's cute. It has romance in it and witchy vibes. So I thought that would be kind of fun. And then I also picked up My Roommate is a Vampire. So this one sounded fun. This girl moves into this place and her next door neighbor has a weird sleep schedule. So it's kind of like this blooming romance, but he has a secret. So I thought that would be really fun to read. I need something different. I also picked up some stickers. So Barnes & Noble still has their Halloween section, and they had jack-o'-lantern stickers. So because I just like to put stickers on things if I'm going to annotate a book, especially if it's a horror read. I like to use stickers for that, and they're just really cute. So pick some of those up. And I also got myself a brand new diary. This is my current diary, and I'm pretty much done with it. I really liked this one's the suede cover, and I just love that it like bends open really easily and I'm able just to write. I really love that one. So I wanted to get one, but I didn't want to get the same kind. And they had this more of a mauve color, but I thought she was really pretty. So very similar to the other one. And I think that she will be a good, yeah, just pretty much the same. I love how they open up like that. So yeah, it's going to be a good little diary to have. Okay, let's talk decks. My picks for my ultimate Halloween decks. These are tarot and oracle decks. These are decks that I recommend for Halloween, okay? So they have just a huge, pure Halloween feel. And these are my favorites, and they're probably just like the ultimate Halloween decks in my opinion. So of course, the one I'm going to show you is the Halloween Oracle. I do not have a box for this, but the Halloween Oracle is just the ultimate Halloween Oracle. You have the Halloween characters. You have just all of this fun Halloween themed cards. And they're really, really good. I have gotten very accurate readings with this deck, and I totally recommend it. So if you're looking for an oracle deck that you could use for Halloween, this is the ultimate one. I would definitely say it should be in your collection. It is really, really good. It's easy to read. It's very accurate. And who doesn't love to have, something spooky for their readings? So definitely check it out. Next is the Seasons of the Witch. Okay. I am obsessed with these decks. There is one for every season, and the one that just recently came out is Seasons of the Witch, the Mabon Oracle. This one is all of the things that you never knew you needed about fall. It is so good. So the Mabon Oracle just really taps into that fall feel. It has like that witchy feel to it. But oh my gosh, like the artwork itself is a reason why you should just have it in your collection. It is so good. It's very sweet. It's very intuitive. Every card has a little blurb. It's very poetic. It really just kind of lets you dive in deep. And it's super accurate. I've had the best readings with these cards. I'm telling you guys, like accurate readings and any kind of question too. Like I've done career readings with this deck. I have done love readings with this deck. It's just really, really, really good. I also like the color scheme in this. It's very fall. You have like that muted, well, I don't know if it's really muted, but you just have like those fall crisp colors. It's really good. And this deck is good to read without the guidebook, but the guidebook, oh my gosh, the guidebook is so good. The other one is the Seasons of the Witch, the Samhain. So the Samhain Oracle is, it still has that feel like the Mabon one does, but this one is more like a shadowy deck. So when I say shadowy, it really goes deep into like the traumas or the pain or the sadness, or just like, it's a really good deck to dive into topics of fear, topics of heartache, sadness, depression, the shadow, secrets. I would definitely say it's a very in-depth, truthful kind of a card deck. It's not something lighthearted. You're really going to be read the truth. Okay. I love the images. The artwork is gorgeous. You have a lot of witches. You have a lot of crones. You have a lot of blacks, whites, grays, reds. Just it's the color scheme of this deck is very dark, and I love it. It just goes. So very different energy from the Mabon Oracle. As you could see, like all the colors, very dark. And it does. And the guidebook, the guidebook is so good for this deck. So totally my deck picks, my recommendations for Oracle. Okay, so let's talk about the tarot decks. And that is the Horror Tarot. I do have a video where I go in depth with these cards. So if you would like to see it, I will put the link in the description box. I chose this one because it's very creepy and dark and spooky, scary. But it's so good. I don't know what it is about this deck, but it reads really, really good. I get the most amazing intuitive hits from it. And I love a deck that's like that. So card backs, you have like this blood red cards, and the cards, the images themselves can be a bit much. So if you're not into the horror stuff, you're not into something scary or bloody or gory, creepy, whatever, this may not be a deck for you. But if you do love it, or if you don't mind it, it's a very good one. It's not Pip deck, but it could have that feel of it. I don't know. I just think they all work. So if you like vampires and monsters, blood, gore, spooky stuff, you're going to really enjoy this one. It's a really good one. And I would definitely say to give it a chance. And yeah, it's definitely a good one. So if you want to see more of these cards, please check out the video. My next pick is the Trick or Tarot. I love this deck. It is so cute. So if you have a more retro, vintage, Halloween taste, this one is going to be the one you're going to like. This deck has more of a collage feel to it. I love the card backs, black and orange. So you have that typical Halloween, those Halloween colors. But it is like a collage-y, kind of a put together from different, images, but it's very vintage Halloween, and it just works. And I absolutely love it. The colors are beautiful. So you just have these very vibrant, dark tones, and it just is so cute. You have pumpkins, you have little devils, bats, you have all of these different characters. You have a cute little witch with her black cat. Everything just works. I love it. It is so cute. And like I said, if you're into the vintage Halloween, this is definitely something that you're going to want. Oh, I love this one. This is the 5 of Cups. Some of the pumpkins have little faces on them. I don't know. There's just something about this deck. I believe you could still order this one as well. So if I remember, I'll link it in the description box where you could buy it. So yeah, that is the Trick or Tarot. My next pick is the Halloween Tarot. This one is definitely, you could purchase this one. I ordered this one on Amazon. So it is affordable and it's easy to get. And it is a really cute, probably the ultimate Halloween deck in my opinion. You have these cute little orange and black card backs, and each card, it's very Rider Waite, but you also have a Halloween twist to it. It's vibrant. It is super, super colorful. And it is so freaking cute. It's probably a really fun one to pull out if you're reading for people who are not, maybe if they're not comfortable with more of the horror stuff. This is actually a fun little deck to use. And it's really easy to read because it follows Rider Waite. So if you're already a fan of Rider Waite, but you're looking for something a little different for Halloween, this is a perfect one to go with. And they also changed up the little suits. So instead of pentacles, you have pumpkins. Instead of cups, you have ghosts. Instead of wands, you have the imps, the little devils. And instead of swords, you have bats. So it does take a little bit to kind of remember what each of the suits represent. But once you get the hang of it, it's pretty easy. I love that High Priestess card. So as you could tell, it's really cute. It's definitely a fun little deck. I love The Eight of Cups, or the Eight of Ghosts. So I would totally recommend this to anybody looking for a Halloween deck. This has to be in your collection. Like this one and the Halloween Oracle, they should be in your collection. It also has a compendium that comes with it, so you could get a little book that goes with it, but you have to pay for it separate, I believe. I don't have one, but I should just order it just to have it. But yeah, it's there if you want it. And this last deck that I have to show you guys is not available for purchase, but I do hear from people who have commented before on other videos that there's going to be another release. So that is the Happy Halloween Tarot by Sony Graves. So this was her own personal connection, oh my gosh. This was her personal creation. It was a Kickstarter, and then she came out with like another run of the decks because she had like a few left and I was able to snag one. So yeah, I don't know what her plans are after that, but from what I've heard from people, from what I've heard, there's going to be another deck coming out. So be on the lookout. These cards have really beautiful oranges and yellows as the card backs. That's just like this pop of Halloween. And what I've always described this deck as is it's like Halloween threw up on your table. Because each of the cards is just so vibrant and colorful. And you just get all of this Halloween goodness in every picture. And as you can see, some of the cards are white, some are orange, some are black, some are yellow. So you do get a pop of color, and it is just like this gorgeous Halloween extravaganza. And I really love it. The only thing I think I don't care much for is the high gloss of the cards, because it does make it difficult to shuffle and the cards just want to slide everywhere. But that's just me being picky. Other than that though, this deck is super cute. So another cutesy, really fun Halloween-y deck. And yeah, I love it. So hopefully you guys will be able to get your hands on something like this. So you got some cutesy Halloween-y decks, and then you also have a really scary, gory horror one for those of you guys who can appreciate that. I love both. So yeah. So those are my Halloween deck picks for the season, you guys. I am still on the lookout for a really good witch deck. I have yet to find one. I don't know if one exists. Maybe it does. Maybe there's like an indie witchy deck I just don't know about. But I'm still on the hunt for something like that. I didn't add any of my vampire decks because I wanted to kind of stick with more of the Halloween theme, with the exception of the horror tarot. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If there's anything that you want to see up close and personal, let me know, and I could do a separate video for that. But other than that, you guys, I just wanted to share with you my fun little updates on what's going on. And yeah, we have 2 more weeks of October left. So make the most of it, especially if this is your favorite time of year. Make sure you do something that you love and enjoy and that just makes you happy. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye, guys.